G'day, thanks for listening. Good evening too, if it's not where you are. This is a medical gardening show and I respect the law and I hope you do too. Today's topics are for educational and scientific purposes. The information is fact-checked and any of the papers or discussion websites will be put in the description below for you to peruse later on. And if you're listening or watching this back, you can fast forward to where you'll see some slides where the screen changes, and if it's only gone for 10 minutes, that means that there wasn't any show today, because I have no topics to discuss. I just wait for questions in the chat or discussion topics that we can elaborate on. And I can show, I've got stacks and stacks of university slides from the courses that I've done, and I can show all those to shed some light on the topic. It's kind of fun, go down that route. And the topics are in plant science, soil science, and microbiology. I can go into good detail in any of those three categories. Yeah, that's about it. I'll wait for 2 minutes, another 30 seconds to go. Hopefully someone arrives and puts something in the chat and that. Some questions also. So another 15 seconds. 10. I need some sort of intro, don't I? Because I can be doing the job right now. So I usually wait till 2 minutes. Then I'm going to start talking on something. Think 2 minutes. So I'll try and get us through the doors until some topics come through. Well, I found it interesting because I'm getting into some bio-fertilizer to do with microbes. And I found it interesting to see whereabouts they're placed. Are they an epiphyte on the outsides of the plant, like in the phyllosphere where the leaves and things are above the ground, or are they in the rhizosphere below the ground around the roots? That's one type. And another type is the endophytes, which live inside the cells. So knowing which type of microbes you're working with, it helps you to know what application you're going to do. Because there's no point in putting ones that are good for the roots, spraying them on the leaves, because it's virtually nearly a waste, because they'll have to get washed down slowly and then do their thing once they hit the roots. It's not virtually a waste, but they could be used better. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. So yeah, that's an interesting point. So I'm doing a course called Microbial Technologies, and they just go into detail on how microbes, how you make them work for you in whatever environment you want. So I thought that was a pretty interesting topic. And that's about it. I like having the questions because it's hard for me to elaborate on things without a question, because then I can go into great detail. But if there's no question, it's hard for me to not, I just say the topic or the point and then get to the next one. G'day, Shipwreck. Nice to see you, mate. How you doing up there? Do you heard anything cool this week or of late that might be something good to discuss? Because I know you wouldn't have many questions because you're on point with what you do. Hope all is well, says Shipwreck. Yes, getting into some bio-fertilizers. That's the go at the moment. Yeah, and working out how beneficial they can be if used correctly in the right situations. This microbial technology course is fascinating, how it just goes into detail like that. Like, for instance, Gluconesidobacter diazotrophilus is a nitrogen-fixing bacteria that applied, it's an endophyte also, which lives inside the cells. So you could apply it by foliar spray, and it can supply up to 80%, in some studies, 80% of the sugarcane's needs of nitrogen can be supplied by this microbe when it's done correctly, because you've got to get the numbers up to the amount to which that can happen. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And microbes that I like, they do two things. They do hormones, the phytohormones, so they'll produce a few of them, and then they'll do extra stuff. So it's pretty cool. Very beneficial is a good word to put it. Get the microbes to work for you. Look like we're heading to a short show. That's all right. There's cricket has started here, which is always a good topic to talk about, which isn't really gardening, but Shipwreck says, oh, nice. That sounds like a pretty powerful microbe. Yeah, that's one example of an application that you'd use it for. Then you've got, if you've got pest problems, there could be, if you specifically, I'll say, fungus problems. So you look at a pectinase, chitinase, microbes that release that for insects as well. And get them to do, what's an example? Trichoderma has 3 species that are pretty cool. Azarium, what's the Trichoderma species? No. Here you go. Trichoderma variety, and Trichoderma hazarium, and Trichoderma aspergillum. They all are good for fungicide, but only one of the 3 produces hormones. So they'll all produce the fungicide, but if you get the aspergillum, it produces auxin, gibberellic acid, and abscisic acid. So 3 types of phytohormones where the other 2 don't. So that's an example of, you can get microbes to do certain things, cool, but I get the ones that do a couple of jobs at least, and specifically hormones. Because, you know, with plants, g'day 420 Fred, there you go. With plants, humans, hormones are massive. So given to the right application to the plant, it's an example, like giving steroids to humans. It just bang. Like gibberellic acid is known to swell fruit. So you'd use Aspergillum lipitherium, which has gibberellic acid in it, and it's also as the azose, so it fixes nitrogen. So that's a good application for that as an example. So used correctly, different microbes is rad. So bio-fertilizer, biopesticides, but specifically bio-fertilizer I'm getting into. So that's about all. We're at 9 minutes, 60 seconds left. There's no real questions or anything like that coming through. It's going to be a short show today. Oh, well, that's all right, because cricket's on. It's a week before the 2020 series start in Australia, so it's quite entertaining. So there's lots of chores and duties to do before then to get ready, so it can be enjoyed. So not much around. Maybe I should make, if I get another couple of shows like this, I'll put a topic in, because I don't like to have shows that just go for 10 minutes, because I think there was one not long ago. Actually, last week. Yeah, it was talking about the auroras. That's true. But the time did change. There's been some daylight saving stuff. So who knows if that's really muddled up the viewers. Hello, Lene. Nice to see you. It's 10 minutes. I'm just about to leave because there's nothing's coming through. So I'll give it another 60 seconds. And then that'll be it for today. No slides which were changed. Renee says, enjoy the cricket bat. Enjoy the cricket. Yeah, the cricket's always enjoyable. It teaches you patience because it's a slowish game, and then it can be fast sometimes. So in between the slow bits, it just teaches you patience. So it's pretty good in that sense. Shipwreck says, cheers. All right. Well, thank you for listening if you listened. And I hope next week there'll be more discussion topics and questions so we can have a show. But I tried, and you tried too. A few people who listen back and watch back and in chat. Thanks to Shipwreck, 420 Fred, and Lene, who commented. And I'll see you all next week. Nice to have things you enjoy, eh? Yes, you've got to have something to look forward to somehow in this slow, weird life that we have. That's why I like cricket. It's not that it can be entertaining. You just got to make it something. Yeah, so that's today. Yes, it was nice to have things that you enjoy, look forward to. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Happy breeding, happy growing, and good health to you all. Bye-bye.